part 2 of the passenger side valve cover replacement, or valve cover gasket and spark plug tube wells and O-rings and all that junk under it. I'm going to start off with just go ahead and removing the air filter box. It's pretty kind of get in there, and then start removing all the vent hoses up top, and then I'll probably start undoing the coolant lines here just to try and free up as much space just to pull the valve cover off. So hopefully I don't run into any snags. I know the back part will probably catch me right there with the big wire harness right there, but we'll see when we get there. So I got the air filter off here. I just want to show you the throttle body again. The intent of installing the old catch can was because I'm losing oil and I don't know where. I was thinking that maybe either the rings are coked up and then not sealing, so oil's passing to the combustion right there, going past the rings and then going out to my exhaust. So part of that too with the catch can is just trying to clean up the incoming air, so where it's not diluted out with oil mist, which reduces the octane and power, of course. Now if you do get oil here, if you see oil here, that means your PCV is clogged and it's forcing pressure or oil misting into the valve covers, which you see here, this tube here goes to the driver's side, right here's the passenger side, and it tees into the intake right here, into the little resonator box that was right here, and then pulls in, and then you'll see well, because of the oil mist air incoming in, it's denser, so it'll tend to fall right here, so you'll have a build-up right here at the bottom of the throttle body right here. Now if I push down on the throttle plate slowly, take a peek inside, look at that, clean. And it's been cleaned due to the PCV partially, not the PCV, I'm sorry, the oil catch can helping out too as well. And then could be a lot of variables, could be just that the engine being cleaned by the BGPR, the less blow by, but yeah, it's freaking clean compared to last time. See if I can get a light on it, see inside. Oh yeah, very clean. Slight buildup, not too bad, but it is clean for the most part. So I think the hardest part for me was so far right now was trying to undo all the clips here. So you got two connectors for the power steering pump, another one right here. So what I did was I pulled it towards me so that way I can unclip it easier, and then once I'll pull it back, I'll push it back. Same thing for this clip right here. I'll just pull it forward to where I can get to the back, and then get some pliers to unclip it from the little bracket right there too as well. And then I'm gonna pull this harness all the way up to the top and then move it out of the way. Just making note of where everything's routed right now, so that way I can put it back the way it came in. So it goes over the oil pickup and down. Alright, first part of moving or removing the coolant pipes here. So first thing I did was I disconnected the SAIS tubing, air tubing right here, and then I removed the brackets securing it to the valve cover and block right here. Disconnected the other coolant line right here, and then also did the same thing for the coolant line for the throttle body too as well. So once you remove the line, what I did was tuck the throttle body coolant line up and under the throttle body, just to make room. And then after that, you can kind of move the piping out of the way here, right there. Then that'll give you access to remove this hose right here. Now, just be careful though. You don't want to break it. You plan on reusing it. Probably not ideal, but just kind of plan for it, because that's a pain to get to. The only way you're gonna probably get to it is, of course, removing the fan, the shroud, and radiator. And at that point, you might as well do the thermostat, water pump, and cooling fan pulley bracket. So yeah, moving on. So I'm draining the coolant here, since I plan on removing the coolant piping to try to make some room for the valve cover removal. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to help at all, depending on how the water pathway works for the coolant. So we'll see. So I got some pliers, broke the hose free from the seal, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back this out all the way, so that way I can twist, using this to kind of as leverage, and twist this up to pull the tubing out of the hose. So I got the tubing out, and there is coolant still. I am on the driveway with the incline, so the only thing I did drain was just the radiator. Now, depending on where you're at, you may go as far as possibly draining the block, but that's a pretty risky move. And then there's the block drain right there. Let me zoom in right there in the center. There's a block drain. Now, it could break, but let's not chance it. So when you're planning for pulling the pipe out, what you can probably do is probably cover the power steering pump sensors right there, so that way they don't fill up with coolant down below, and possibly cover up your belt too as well if you don't want to damage your belt with coolant liner. This is a public service announcement. If you see red, pink crusties on your coolant T-lines, it's time to replace it, because otherwise when you go to remove it, they just disintegrate. Here's the other end of the coolant T. So I've removed the hose here just to make sure that none of these pieces get lodged in the cooling system and plug something up. So yeah, you can kind of see it. And there you have it. Mush. Here's the other one. So pretty much any additional excessive force on the piping, it cracks. So, and this is just me squeezing. You can already see it cracking already. See, look at that. Nope, see? Done. So this is on my 2010 Sequoia with over 270,000 miles on it. Yeah, it's due, past due. All right, coolant tube is finally disconnected from the valve cover here. So I removed the two 12mm bolts in the back, securing the back coolant pipes, and then just kind of set it down, pushed off to the side. So it looks like the next thing to tackle is this junction harness cable, whatever you want to call it. So there's a 10mm nut securing the bracket, holding the harness over to the end of the valve cover, and then I'll probably have to disconnect this from the clip right here, and then zip tie it or whatever, move it out of the way, whatever I need to do just to get it out of the way so I can lift the valve cover off. And then once I free that, then it's just a matter of undoing all the valve cover bolts. Don't forget to take off the 12mm nut here too, and then of course to get to that you'll have to move this 10mm off of that, and then that should be it. Almost there. So I didn't have any fancy hose plugs, so I'll just use the fingertips of gloves just to seal off the hoses here from leaking or dropping stuff into them. That back 10mm valve cover bolt, it's a reach to get to, but it's manageable. So now I'm going to pull out the ignition coils and then pry up right here, and then just grab wherever I can and lift it out there. Alright. No oil, that's good. Number 2. No oil, that's good. Well, that's number 4, I'm sorry. It's number 6. Oh, good amount of oil. Not good. Not too bad. And then number 4. Or 6, I'm sorry. Oh shit. Let me lift this up. There we go. Alright. So 1 on each side. So I'll mix it up. 2, 4, 6. Leaking, and 8. Alright, all the valve cover bolts are removed. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13? 13. I don't even sound confident. But anyways, so just a quick observation. So whenever you remove the ignition coils, make note of the spark plug tubes. So if you look at number 2 cylinder here, it's like almost flush with the valve cover. Almost, it's sitting just below it. But look how far number 4 tube is. It's down there. Same thing with number 6, and then number 8 looks just about like number 2 here. I'm gonna zoom out. So see how this is like maybe an 1/8 or so further down into the valve or head. Same thing for number number 4 and then number 6. Very odd. Now when I did the driver's side, all of them were dead even all the way across, and where this was just smidged down below, further down below, but not that far down below. Interesting, very interesting. Passenger side valve cover is off, finally. One thing to note is when I was trying to remove the valve cover, the back side was giving me some problems, so I'm not too sure what happened here. So the bottom pin came out and then it's stuck to the valve cover. Now when I did the driver's side, they were all sitting inside the head, so that one goes towards the bottom right there, and then you have one up top right there. I think that's it, those two right there. So now when I go to do the what do you call that, the intake manifold, remove the intake manifold, hopefully I can figure out why I have all this blow by right here, all this oil seepage building up on top of the valve covers. That should be interesting. And you can also see here, so my valve cover's been leaking for some time, so I'm not too sure if that's part of the reason why I'm losing oil too as well. So I think I'm burning up or losing about 1.5 quarts, maybe 2 quarts every 5,000 miles. So yeah, so nice and hard. Oh yeah, see, look at that there. Oh, that's near the headers, so that's all nice and crispy. All right, so same ordeal. Remove the spark plug tube seals, make sure I put them in the right way. Place the O-rings, and then okay, it's still there. I didn't lose it. Whew, thought I lost an O-ring. All right, and place all the O-rings, and then installation is reverse. Pretty clean. 270,000 miles. 1 out of 8 spark plug tube seals came out whole. And again, I'm using a 22mm socket, so it may vary between brands as far as thickness goes. But yeah. The valve cover is back on. I'm just waiting for an hour for the sealant to set, and then I'll torque it down. Now earlier I had mentioned that the number 4 and 6 spark plug tubes were set further down into the valve, or the head right here. So if you notice, compared to number 2 and number 8, where it's closer towards the top of the valve cover, these are under the valve cover. Now this may be part of the reason why number 6 was leaking oil, because right now the lip of the seal is just barely under, or maybe above, the lip of the tube here. So you can see there, the lip of the seal is just at the edge of the tubes. Now, same for number 6 spark plug tube too as well, but I feel that number 6 looks better than number 4. So maybe I should have not set it all the way down to compensate. Time will tell. Time will tell. Next morning, wrapping up the valve cover gasket replacement. Got everything bolted up for the most part. put in the final brackets, everything's secured, grounding strap, coolant tubes are mostly secured. This is my stopping point for now. I gotta run to Toyota to pick up some miscellaneous bolts that went missing. So I'm missing the 10mm bolt back there, securing the bracket holding the main harness to the corner of the valve cover, and then the bolt right here securing the coolant tube to the front of the head. Once I get those, then I'll go ahead and secure the SIS air tubes, and then hook up all the harness and plugs back together, and then I'll start on the valley plate leak repair sometime later.